So the goal for today is to make the Nv4500 to the International 345. What we had to do, we had to, of course, install this input shaft that will fit the clutch for an International and is the proper length. We have the adapter plate here that is going on the top of the bearing retainer. The bearing retainer has a spout that goes about here, and I had to have that cut off. So we will fit flush with the adapter plate. And then we have the throwout bearing from the T98. That's gonna install right here on the top of it. And of course I have a new bearing. I have a new clutch kit. I repainted the bell housing. This is an 11-inch kit. Pressure plate that goes with it. We had a flywheel resurface, and this is the old one, and we have a brand new pilot bearing somewhere in my garage. You know how it is, right? Somewhere. I'm gonna put a little bit of sealant around it, gasket sealant, a little bit of assembly lube, and then we clean the bolt, and we're gonna put some thread locker, and we're gonna torque that to 20 foot-pound of torque. Those holes were not perfectly at 45 degrees, so you cannot install it wrong. And if you're wondering, I'm gonna put that on the top. Hopefully that's how it works. Line up the holes a little bit better. And then put the bolt dry. And hopefully by torquing them evenly, it's gonna help putting everything back in made. A little bit on top, a little bit on the bottom, and here he goes. That's it, we're in flush. Now we're gonna remove them, put the thread locker on it, and retorque them to 20 foot-pound. And if we did that right, the adapter plate can go on the top of it. To make this plate fit, we had to do two things. We had to cut some hole to allow this bolt to fit. Let me show you. Cut the hole to allow the bolt to fit, and we had to grind and this surface here we had to grind it and machine it properly, so we'll clear over here so the plate will come really flush with the rest of the transmission. Next, install the flywheel on the crankshaft. We're gonna have to put thread sealer into those bolts. They're pretty wet. And here's the opening for our door right here, which is our alignment. Let's see if I get lucky. It's a little bit of a bitch. That's it. Just work it back and forth. Pretty well aligned. And rather than walking the flywheel in, I'm just gonna thread those bolts in very gently, so it's gonna go in evenly. Then remove them, put some thread sealer, put them back in, torque them at a 55 foot-pound of torque. I have my little flywheel locker right here, so when I torque it, the flywheel doesn't turn. That's it. Now new pilot bearing. So that's the new one, and it needs to be extracted out of this thing here, and this is the contraction that I use. Just a puller. As you push, you can see it coming out. Anyway, you get the idea. Pretty faultless. Look, there we go. Alright, that's it. We'll clean it up. It's the new pilot bearing, and we're gonna walk it in. I'm gonna put a hair of grease just to make it easier, and then I'm gonna gently tap it and walk it in. If you have a raised bearing, tap it. It's gonna be even better, but I do with what I get. Okay, I'll be right back. That's it, it's in, all flush. And now we're gonna do the exact same thing right here. Gonna gently tap it in, put a little bit of grease. Not too much grease, you don't want the grease to end up onto the flywheel. Just a little bit to help out, and then we're gonna grease the inside here. And that should be good. Should be, the hell I know what I'm doing, guys. Let's give it a go. I got nothing. It's going on, little by little. And that's it. It's in, it's flush. Still have my 10 fingers. Let's move on to the clutch. Alright, I have my new clutch pilot alignment tool, which is hopefully is going to hold it in place for me. Ish, as I put the pressure plate. Be right back. Alright, let's go to town. Alright, all 6 bolts, 50 foot, 45 to 55, so we'll go right in the middle. What the hell with it, let's get crazy, let's go to 55. Well, that's it, 6 bolts, 55 foot-pound of torque, and we can remove the clutch holder because now the pressure plate is holding it. So let's go back to the other side of the world over there and finish that adapter plate installation on the transmission. Plate goes in. When the kit gives us 4 bolts to mount the transmission to the plate. I don't know what the torque is. Let me guess, 55? Alright, let's put those guys in. Then we have those little studs. Those guys are for the old throwout bearing. The one from the T98. Of course I have to tie them up a little bit tighter, but for demonstration. That's it. Put them in. We have all the hardware to tie them in. And for the bell housing of the T98, we have those guys. Again, you cannot go wrong. We have the small thread and the big thread. Go here, go here, go here, and we can put the bell housing. And finally, we'll put the throwout bearing. I hope it's gonna work. We'll find out. Well, that's the final products, boys and girls. See if I can have it. I have the T98 returner bearing, and then a brand new throwout bearing, and everything works effortless. There. Easy breezy. Hopefully it's gonna work. Well, if it doesn't work, we'll do it again. Alright, that's it. It's made it. I use those long rods so I can really slide the transmission in, and then I tighten little by little, a little bit here, a little bit there, all the way around, till it finally get close enough. Otherwise, if you have a tight disc clutch like I had, where the cog was hard to get, it's gonna take you freaking forever, dude. So that's the easy way. I mean, to me. Alright, boys, to the engine.